Hi, my name is Lisa Tim, and I'm an Assistive Technology Consultant for Saltillo. I wanted to take a few moments to show you a low-tech option created with WordPower in our editor software. There are a number of reasons why we might use a low-tech option. One might be as a backup system to a dedicated system. We might use this during a water activity instead of our technology systems. We might use it as a training tool or for communication partner modeling, or a variety of other reasons. Let's take a look at one that's been created and available for you to download. This one is based on the WordPower 60 file. You'll see that that is bound with rings, and then it also has the flips, and then I also put it into a binder for just another way of using it. The rings allowed me to have the flips that would move all the way around. I didn't put it into a folder, and then I did put it into a folder, into a binder. One of the nice things about the binder was when I created that strap that allowed it to stand up, I just used Velcro on the back of the binder on both sides, and I put a strap in between it. It allows it to stand up at a nice angle, and the flips will stay up then, and it makes them very easy to flip the flips back down. Another option that will be available for download will be a non-flip one-page low-tech board. We're going to call that 60 plus. It's based on the WordPower 60 file. You'll see 78 buttons. It's just adding some of the additional vocabulary that might really make this functional. It's a one-page low-tech board, but it's still based on the 60, and you'll see many of the things are really not moved around. Where would you find this already made? It will be available on the Saltillo website under the Implementation tab, Chat Corner, and under SLP Tools. You'll find downloadable PDF files there available for you to print, cut, and laminate yourself and put together. The files that will be there will be based on the WordPower 60 file. The reason that I chose those is it made the easiest ones to create the flips so that it mimics the navigations that you would see in the dynamic screens. You'll see that I swapped the button for good with any, every, but, or so that I could achieve the flips. And so you'll see on the left-hand side, that would be the original WordPower 60 file, and on the right-hand side is what I created in a low-tech option. So I swapped those two buttons so that I was able to create the flips. I also replaced the clear, the period, and the delete word with mom, dad, and mine. Some of these words may not suit what you were looking for. You have options to either create your own, and I'll show you how to create that, or you could simply take what's already been created and maybe glue something over it. Maybe you'll glue another word or another picture over those buttons. That might be your easiest way because the alignment does take some work. Let me show you with the document camera what this does look like. One more thing I wanted to show you before I do that is that you do have options. So you'll see on the left-hand side, if you wanted to use the editor to create your own and maybe hide some of the buttons, you didn't want to give exposure to everything, you do have an option of creating it yourself and printing it out with some of the buttons hidden. There's also an overlay that I created that will have all blanks on that, and you can cut out certain ones that you want to expose. So I'll show you both of those. You'll see this is the board that I made. I customized it for me. And you'll notice that these are the flips, and they all align with what would be below it. So for the social flip, you can see that this is the social button underneath it. I would have my social vocabulary here, as well as another page for that personal information. If I went into describe, I would have my first page of my describe, as well as a second page, and a third. So there are a number of flips. Let me just show you how they are. So we use the ABCs and just put them in alphabetical order along with the numbers. Under people, we have some of those additional pronouns. Here's where you could add some people, whether you wanted to write them in or use pictures. Your question words. And then we start with the action words. So you'll see the number of pages of actions. Places, and so you can see those tabs are lining up with those categories on the top. And again, time, so we've got our months. And then some noun categories. So drinks, snacks, meals, food, fruit, weather, shapes, and then the toys. And then there is a page that will have a blank line on it as well. Under your any, every, but, and or, you're going to see some of your positional words, some of your adverbs, and then your low-tech board here. I mentioned that option for the template that you could put over this so that you could hide some of the buttons. So you'll see that I cut out some of those blanks. This allows me to only expose some of the vocabulary at a time. I could choose to use the flips or not use the flips, or even choose which ones I wanted to teach. I mentioned the other option was to hide before you printed. So you can see that we would have that available. And then the other option was that low-tech one-page board. So those would be the options. Now let me show you how we've created them. I used the NovaChat editor to create these boards. We also have our new chat editor. You'd be able to do the same thing with either one of these files. There is an option to print pages, as well as I used a snippet tool to create these. So let me show you how I created them. Let me show you first one of the things that we can do. If you wanted to print pages and just print them, you have an option for printing pages here. It allows you to check off which pages you want to print, and then I would be able to print the selected pages. I could print all of them. Now there are quite a few of them. I've used this to print pages off for implementation purposes and cut them apart and use them that way. The way that I created these communication boards, though, is by using this snippet tool. This is the home page, so this would have been my main page. So I would snip this whole thing. So I'm going to basically take a screenshot, copy that, and put it into a Word document. So currently this Word document is in the portrait position, so I really would need to change it, the orientation to landscape, so that I could adjust it, stretch it out a little bit. Now if I wanted to create some of those other flips that I had used, one of the things that I did is when I created this vocabulary, you can see that I've already customized it. When I was in edit mode, I had swapped those out. I moved things around so that I was able to print them in a line instead of the way that they were. So you can see that this has been really reorganized in order to achieve the flips that I was looking for. So what I did from there is, if I wanted to look at the people, I snipped it, and I want to do that not in edit mode. So try that again. And so I would go ahead and just snip that part. The hard part is getting everything to align. So you'll see that I can go ahead and put that in here. We spent quite a bit of time aligning everything for you. So this is the one that will be available as a PDF file, and it's already aligned and all the tabs are already put in there. All of it was just done with snipping and copying and pasting them into this alignment. So these print out and should align for you. It's already been done for you. And that concludes the little demonstration on creating a low-tech board. We hope that you will follow us on social media. You'll see that we have a number of options here. So Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. There's channels for Touch Chat and Saltillo. Thank you, and have a great evening.